What's up guys, Phil here, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Today we'll be talking about how to sit. Not just how to sit, but how to sit for a long time. We live in a world where most of us spend most of our lives sitting. Especially nowadays where we're working from home, sitting at a computer, driving, sitting at home watching Netflix. We're sitting more than ever. My goal today with this video is to teach you how to sit even longer. Alright, jokes aside, honestly sometimes we don't have a choice. Especially if you have a sedentary job, you might just have to sit for a long time. So here we will show you how to stay as healthy as possible while sitting. But before we get started, I have to put a disclaimer here. While there are many methods to help you sit longer, there is no substitute for physical activity. Our sedentary habits play a role in causing the rise in obesity rates and chronic illnesses. It's not good. So when you have a chance, it's always better to stand up and walk around, take a little break, instead of just sitting in one place for a long time. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. Step 1, have a good setup. When we talk about sitting for a long time, especially at our workstations, ergonomics is often the word that comes up. When you look it up, ergonomics is defined as the study of people's efficiency in their working environment. Basically, this whole field is designed to help you sit for as long as possible. You got all these different gadgets. You got different chairs, different tables, you got footrests, you got different keyboards, different mouse pads, different cushions, all with the goal of making you more comfortable so you can sit longer and be more productive at work. Are these things valuable? Yes. These are all great tools that you can use to increase your time sitting. Especially if you want to compare your max sit time with a good ergonomic setup versus a max sit time with a poor ergonomic setup, chances are you'll be more comfortable with a better ergonomic setup. You're just gonna last longer with a comfortable setup versus sitting in a coffee shop crouched over your little laptop. You want the top of your monitor to be about eye level so you don't have to strain your neck looking up or looking down for an extended period of time. Ideally, you want a good chair with back support. You want to be able to relax your elbows. Some chairs come with armrests. You want to make sure that they fit you properly, and when you're typing, it feels like your elbows are slightly supported. Next, you want your knees to be in line with your hips. And going further down the chain, you want your feet to be comfortably supported. You don't want your feet to be dangling. You also don't want your chair to be too low so your knees are way higher than your hips. You want to sit nice and tall. Pretend you have a string at the top of your head and somebody is pulling that string up. You want your chin to be tucked down and slightly in. You want your shoulders to be rolled back so you're not hunched over. You want your elbows to be bent at a comfortable position, roughly around 45 to 90 degrees. And you want a slight arch in your lower back. This naturally happens when you're sitting nice and tall. Remember that string, somebody's pulling your head up. Naturally, you will have a curve in your lower back. Again, knees in line with your hips and your feet resting comfortably on the ground or on footrests. I just want to say, even though ideally there is a perfect ergonomic setup, but it may or may not work for you, you still have to find the right chair that works for you. You want to find the right keyboard that works for you. You want to find the right table that works for you. So play around with it. For example, I don't like having armrests because I like the freedom of being able to kind of spread my legs out and not having that constraint by my side. So really you want to play around with it, find the setup that works the best for you. By now you probably know what I'm going to say next. While there is quote unquote an ideal posture, but it doesn't mean that you should stay in that posture for an extended period of time. You can absolutely try to sit like that for 8 hours a day, years on end, but chances are you'll get tired and it's just not sustainable. You can't stay like that forever. It's okay, nobody's perfect and it's okay to slouch. We're not robots. The human body is designed to move. That's how our joints stay healthy, and that's also how we can relieve some of these discomforts that we have from sitting too long. So that brings us to our next step. Step 2, move often. Instead of trying to sit with perfect posture forever, remember, we're not robots. You want to try to move throughout the day. As the saying goes, the best posture is your next posture. So if you can, stand up and take a walk every 30 minutes to an hour. But what if you're too busy and you can't do that? You can do a bunch of stretches while sitting. It doesn't have to take a very long time or be complicated. The goal is just to get you out of the static position. So here's the fun part. We're gonna talk about some stretches that we can do. Seated cat-cow. So you're gonna put your hands on the table. You're gonna sit up super tall, look up. And then you're gonna curl into a ball and look down. And repeat, up, down. Seated lumbar rotation. So you're going to cross one leg, hold on to your knee with your opposite arm, and twist. And same thing with the other side. Cross this leg and twist the other way. Seated lat stretch. So you're gonna put your elbows on your table. You're gonna scoot back and see if you can get your head through your arms. You should kind of feel like a nice stretch in this armpit area. Seated greatest stretch. So what you're gonna do is touch the ground with one hand, open up, twist your whole body in the other direction, and same thing going this way, touch the ground and rotate your whole body this way. Going as far as you feel comfortable going. Seated shoulder roll. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift your shoulder blades up, and you can do some circles backwards, and you can also do some circles forwards. The goal of this is to just get some movement through these shoulder blades. With these stretches, you don't have to dedicate a chunk of time in your workday just to do all of them. The goal is for it to be quick and actionable. It's more so about doing these consistently throughout the day. Think of it as movement snacks. So throughout the day, snack on these different stretches, whichever one that feels good to you. So every 20 to 30 minutes, pick one from the list and just do 1 or 2 reps of it. It's gonna take like 10 seconds. I want you to incorporate these movements into your workday, and doing these stretches throughout the day will go a long way. Next, I want to talk about different ways to sit. So we've gone over some of these stretches that you can do throughout the day. Now I want to go over different ways that you could sit. Let me show you. So you can sit nice and tall in this ideal posture. You can sit relaxed, so fully relaxed into your chair. Back is against the chair. You should feel pretty comfortable. You're not really using a lot of muscle. If you have the ability to do so, another variation is for you to kind of lean back into your chair. That way you can kind of get your hips to open up a little bit. You're kind of offloading some pressure from your hips and legs to your back. You can sit with one leg up. You can cross your leg, cross-legged like this, with my other leg over my ankle. To offload the pressure on your butt, you can kind of lean onto one butt cheek and then switch onto the other. You can lean on the table so you're able to kind of fully rest your weight and take some load off of your back. If you have a height adjustable desk, you can also get into this kneeling position or half kneeling position just to open up this hip. You can put like a cushion underneath your knee just to make that feel a little bit better. So play around with all these variations. Remember, nothing beats standing up and walking around. Maybe you have a standing desk. If you want to learn how to stand for a long time, you can check out my other video about that. So these are some strategies to help you sit a little longer at work. Remember guys, the goal of this is to simply help you last longer. It's not a substitute for regular physical activity. In reality, most people aren't meeting the guidelines of 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercise, or at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise. The healthier and stronger your body is, the longer you should be able to last sitting in a chair. Hope this helps. Keep it moving. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you can like it. Comment below if you have any questions or concerns, and you can subscribe for more content like this. Cheers.